Adem, you've got to be really proud of that effort. You know, two down, 3 down, including the sub, and just kept sort of hanging in there, and then you could have won it.
Yeah, I spoke to the boys around that. It's a good word, proud, and that's how we felt as coaches. We had players changing position, changing roles, positions they hadn't played before, things like that. But for them to just show some grit, stay in the game. We lost our way last week, and we really spoke about. We spoke a lot around staying in the moment, what's important, and staying engaged in the game. And that was more around momentum, but this was more around structure and positioning. And but I thought to their credit, we couldn't be more proud of our players. To lose 2 key defenders by half time, let alone Dion, the leader of our footy club, and to respond the way they did and keep toiling away. We're super proud of them.
So do you almost get sort of more out of that in a way than, say, had you fallen short, but the execution had it been all right? Because you know the effort's there. You can always sort of refine the game plan, the execution, but the effort's got to be non-negotiable. Yeah,
no doubt. Like our contest and stoppage work today against a really strong contest and stoppage team, to not only match them but to beat them in that area was something. Obviously, our captain coming back into the team helps that. But our midfielders weren't happy the way they performed last week, and to respond the way they did today gave us a real opportunity to win. So that was a really that was a positive result for us. But that's a staple of our game. We just spoke to our players around that. That should be our standard. We want to be hard to play against. Our team defence was a lot better today. We're more organised, and hopefully we've left an impression on Carlton that we're a tough team to play against. I couldn't be more proud of our players for the effort they showed.
Really tough news for Josh after what he's gone through last year. Can you give us a bit of an update?
Yeah, it is. It is tough, and it's we obviously there'll be scans, but it's not looking great at the moment. We're touching all the wood we can that we get lucky with it, but if it is what we think it is or could be, would be. It's obviously gut-wrenching based on not only the season he had last year, but just the type of player and the type of character he is. So I feel for him. So we'll wrap our arms around him for sure.
What did that force you to do, Adem, in the game? You obviously put Boulder back, but what were you trying to manufacture given the outs?
We weren't going to. We tried to hold Noah just because of his ruck work and some of his forward craft. But then obviously Tyler Young started feeling some symptoms at half time, and to lose both defenders, then we had to pull the lever with Noah. And to his credit, he was terrific. So it did throw the magnets around a little bit. We went in with a smaller team, so to lose two guys close to 200 centimetres was going to always be tough to cover. But like I said, for Cam to McIntosh to go down back to help out, and for Marlon to jump into the ruck and help, we threw the magnets around, but more to the players' credit, they executed, and we almost come away with the win.
Is Prestia's issue a recurrence of the one a couple of months ago or 6 weeks ago?
I'm not sure if it's the same side. All I know is he had a tight hammy, and they'll go through the scan. So, I feel for him. Like, it was always a risk with a 5-day break, and to be fair, and talk about pride and being proud of the performance on the back of a 5-day break, a hot day on the Gold Coast. To be able to sustain that performance the whole night is part of the reason why we're super proud of him. But that was part of the reason why it was a little bit risky even with Dylan Grimes. We'll wrap that he got through the game, but there was always this risk with playing some of our older players after a 5-day break. But we'll live and learn.
You said yesterday that Tom Lynch might be on limited minutes. Did that plan go out the window as he started losing away?
Only in the last quarter. To be fair, he's too important. Like, even with that, some of our smaller players had to cover for him when his rotation come up during that last quarter. So we had to be smart about it. That his preparation was always going to override what was happening in the game. He's too important for us, but it was good having a big fella back. He gave us a focal point and created some amazing contests for us.
Were you happy with how that forward-line function when Noah was there with Son before Noah had to go back?
Yeah, we were. And not just that, it just gave us some speed around him. And obviously having Dusty back, he's a threat. gives us some flexibility with Shea to be able to go inside and go and play some midfield and get up the ground. So the balance of our team looked better. We had more opportunity at ground level. We looked really potent when we sent the ball in deep. So yeah, we'll have a look at that. But yeah, the balance of having those two forward, our smaller players really enjoyed playing underneath them.
Ideally, do you have a preferred spot for Bolter, or are you happy for him to sort of stay a swing man, if you like?
Yeah, well, I'm really happy with what he's produced 2 really strong games, and for him around consistency, he's got a goal around being really consistent. So I'm really buoyed by what he's doing as a ruck and a power forward. So we've got some. If we have to cover the other end, I think I'll be leaning with bringing in a key defender and not throwing him back just yet, just based on we've only seen it once, and the first half really it looked really potent. So I might get some of our coaches. I think Ben Rutten might want him down back, but to cover for Youngie, but or for Gibbo. But yeah, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing with Noah and Lynchy. It's only been a small sample size, but I'd hope we can keep going with it.
In that last bit of play, did you think when Bolton looked like he almost got through, did you think he had it then?
Yeah, we had a couple of little opportunities, and in the end, those little moments, sometimes they go your way and sometimes they don't. So I was just wrapped that in the last 2 minutes, we gave ourselves a couple of opportunities to score. Like, that's what you train for. You train the last 2 minutes of each quarter, and whether you're chasing a lead or trying to defend a lead, I thought that we adjusted. Our players organised on the run. They put Curnow behind the ball, and just the instant response from our defenders were to get down and equalise, things like that. So they were on the right path, all on the same page, and it gave us an opportunity, and that's the main thing.
They still scored a lot, Carlton, on turnover, which has been something you've probably brought in to hopefully improve.
Yep.
What do you make of where that's at?
Yeah, well, the positive today was it wasn't on our entry. It was we gave up 4 goals on point kicking turnovers. Like, we're trying to get the ball out of our back end, and they scored 4 goals from it. So we knew that at half time. They had 3 at half time. So we spoke to them. Even when reviewing today's game, it's all around honesty. So we're really proud of our effort and our stoppage, but we'll be really honest with the way that we look at our point kickings and find out the reasons why we couldn't get out of our back end. I think it was 15 inside 50s to 2 at one stage in the second quarter, and that just creates a lot of pressure and saps a lot of energy. So we'll be really honest around that. But I just feel like our game looks better. It looked like a Richmond game today or tonight, and we were just unlucky we went on the winning end.
How much did Toby Nankervis transform your midfield? Game high clearances seem to really flip the stoppage numbers from last week in that first quarter.
Yeah, and not only stoppage, around the ground. He's an amazing leader of our footy club. He's in contest and he's fighting when we send it down the line. And not only that, we're up against a team that likes to go down the line and take contested marks, and he was in a heap of those contests. So, yeah, his ruck craft, he's been working really hard on it. The guys love having him in there. Yeah, so there's no secret having our captain back was a big bonus for us.
Just on the way you play as a team, I just want to ask you specifically about Bolton and Pickett. You know, they're 2 guys that got a lot of flair, but they can, you know, occasionally make a blunder and it can be costly. I sort of noticed that a bit tonight. Is there a line that you draw with guys like that and say, listen, at some point you've got to just play the percentages, or are you happy for that to continue, you know, sort of counselled, if you like?
Yeah, well, on offence, I really struggle to give them rules. On defence, there are rules. Like, we want to defend a certain way, and around stoppage, we've got to be compliant. But around offence, I don't want to take away the flair of our good players. I think on the balance of it, I think they'll make the right decisions more often than not. And I want our players that have got the ability to play that way. So I'll trust that they'll make the right decisions. They'll know when they make a mistake. They'll review that. But yeah, I'll never take away their flair.